What's up, everybody? Anonymous Crypto Guy back here with another video. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet and jump right into it. Just going to talk about a project that I really like in the ecosystem, and that project is Hydra. Before I begin, I just want to say that everything in this video is pure speculation. Obviously, I have no idea what's going to happen within the market. Take none of this as financial advice, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. The reason why I think Hydra is going to be successful longer term, for a few reasons. For starters, you have two really intelligent individuals that have kind of been like the key foundation of the ecosystem that partnered on the project. So pure speculation. I think something extremely. I think something will be built on Hydra, in the distant future, and I think it'll be really big. The only thing that I really don't like about Hydra is that it's pretty much, I would say, it a lot of the newer projects that I really like and have gotten behind, like Volt and Flux, Morphus, Lotus, even some of the newer ones I really like Element 280, right? They're either a limited mint or they're super hyper deflationary. Hydra is built pretty much like Hyper and TitanX itself. You can get in on day, what are we at right now? Day 68, and pretty much be dead even with the estimated number of Hydra at the end of miner as day one. There's really no difference. I mean, like you're talking about a couple $100, but it's really it's really nothing crazy. Yeah, I mean it's really nothing crazy, guys, and that's the only thing that I don't like. But I do think that something really big will be built on Hyper, and I do think something will be really big that will be built on type of Hydra, solely because of the two people that were involved with it, and that the fundamentals are basically in the tokenomics rather are pretty much similar to TitanX, right? There's a lot of hype that went into Hydra. I mean, well over 10 trillion TitanX went into it. It's just it burned a lot of TitanX, which was good for the TitanX ecosystem, obviously, but with a lot of hype in it, a lot of quick profits, and obviously people are going to sell off, take profits, and go right into other projects, which is completely understandable. My 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 what I'm doing with Hydra is I'm basically trying to compound into more TitanX, which the price has greatly gone down since it launched, not even or a little over 2 months ago, obviously, as we all know. But the big thing to look at here is the market cap, right? We have we have a good low market cap with good liquidity, and it's one of the newer ones that have been built by the key two people in this ecosystem, right? So the reason why I think it's going to be big longer term, I would say late Q1 2025, is because the buy and burn, right? You have pretty much the market cap in the buy and burn, which is good. I've always referred to the buy and burns as the savings account, right? So you have 2/3 of the entire market cap of 1.5 or $1.35 million market cap. You have essentially 2/3 of that in the savings of the main Hydra buy and burn. And then on top of that, you have the Vortex, and I think a lot of people are really kind of sleeping on the Vortex. Um, you essentially have enough to burn the overall market cap of Hydra almost 3 times. over. So this can go to a $0 market cap, and Hydra would just essentially all liquid Hydra at that point would just be balled up and burnt at day 98 with the vortex. And I think that a lot of people are kind of sleeping on that. So my plans for Hydra is I will market buy at some point. I will market buy Hydra. Uh, I think it's going to continue to bleed. I really do. Again, it's my personal opinion. I'm not trying to create FUD, so I don't want to hear, I don't want to get into people messaging me saying I'm creating FUD for the ecosystem. I think TitanX will continue to bleed for, and as well as the TitanX ecosystem will continue to bleed for pretty much the month of November. Me personally, without getting into graphs and everything like that, I really don't see Titan X really starting to form a candle-like graph until after December. Realistically, I think, unless obviously Jake could obviously do something crazy and he could. No, I didn't want to go to Twitter. He could obviously do something crazy and let me make sure he hasn't. Yeah, he's not touched the buy and burn at all, or for the V1. So he's not. This has not been turned on at all. This figure has not changed. I watch this number at least 10 times a day. I look at this number. I have the exact number of this down to the decimal. Right, I know exactly how much is in the V1 buy and burn, and I think what Jake is waiting for is I personally, if it was me, I wouldn't consider turning this on until after mid-December, if it's turned on at all, right? Reason being, if you look at the future supply to come out, we're still essentially dumping supply. We're still dumping off the hyperinflation that's coming into market now. I think we'll be well over 80 trillion tokens by the time in liquid. I'd have to do some math. I think we'll be roughly around 80 trillion, perhaps a little bit more total Titan X by the time all the hyperinflationary comes out as far as like stakes and everything are released, and some of the other miners trickle back in. So I think at that point, that would be the time. Me personally, that's when I would turn it on, and I would go into 2025 strong, because I think 2025 will be a good year for crypto, simply because of Donald Trump. He's said multiple times he wants to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. Obviously, I have big hopes and dreams that he'll turn the United States economy around, and then at that point, you have the halving of the Bitcoin. You have Bitcoin pushing over 100K. You have the news talking about it. You have Donald Trump, who will bring down inflation. The Fed has already said that they're going to start cutting rates, so people are going to be buying. That hopefully the housing market turns back around. All the other interest rates drop because the Fed's already said that they're going to cut multiple times, and Americans can go on to live normal lives. And at that point, now everybody's talking about Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin, they roll their profits into the altcoins, and then altcoins into the micro cap, which is TitanX, because obviously we're under $100 million market cap at this point. So I don't even think the entire ecosystem is above 200. Yeah, 200. So we're a micro cap ecosystem. So, like a $1.3 million market cap. If TitanX goes to let's just say a 10x, and it goes to a $720 million market cap, I don't see why Hydra would not be at a $5 to $10 million market cap. Just trying to keep it realistic, right? So, if I was Jake, I'd be paying very close attention to what the Trump administration does early in January leading into February, and once all of the hyperinflation comes onto market and the stakes come onto market, and I would, as soon as, I don't see us going above 100 trillion liquid. I'd have to go back and look at all the figures that are supposed to come out. But I want to say we wouldn't have been over 100 trillion. So I would pay close attention to what the Fed does. I'd pay close attention to the interest rates. I'd pay close attention to the U.S. economy, to what the Trump administration and their plans are as far as the economic turnaround and the U.S. economy. Because if that's the case, I think that Donald Trump will stand by his word. I think the United States will lead all nations as far as the crypto revolution, and I think the United States will enact that vision and be the crypto capital of the world. And I mean, with that on top of all the news talking about Bitcoin, because now it's over 100,000, which has been that golden figure, and normal Americans being able to afford groceries and gas finally. And then those average day players coming into or average day Americans coming into the ecosystem, and the crypto market overall market cap hits its all time high, and a couple trillion, maybe even two figures, 10 trillion or whatever overall market cap wise. I think that you'd want to hit that. You'd want to use this up before then. You'd want to get ahead. And I think he'll be. I think this won't be here in the next 3 months. I think he'll turn it on, sometime between December and I would say March timeframe. But I don't even know if we'll make it till March, honestly, because if it was me and I would want this ecosystem to pump as its creator, I would want everybody talking about TitanX just as the bull market is really starting to ramp up, and that should be the ultimate goal. So, and ultimately, that's why I decided to, come back and start making videos about, TitanX, because for a while there, kind of like why I kind of stopped was just because I really only talked about TitanX, and there really was nothing else in the TitanX ecosystem. And people were getting tired of hearing about TitanX. I got out of every other crypto that there was, all great gaming cryptos, which I preached gaming crypto for years, play to earn cryptos for years. I got all out of all that, and I put all of my eggs in one basket, which was the TitanX ecosystem. And genuinely, people got tired of hearing about it. I got so many messages. Actually, I had at one point in time I had more DMs than I did views on some of my videos, which is, I mean, I didn't have many views because I left YouTube for years, but ultimately I'm coming back and just trying to put positivity back into the ecosystem because I think TitanX needs it. There's a lot of there's a lot of animosity in the ecosystem right now, and honestly, we're too good of a project to have that type of animosity. So that's my overall view of Hydra and why I think it'll be big. I think people are not acknowledging the buy and burn. They're not acknowledging the vortex. They're not acknowledging what the price of TitanX will do. Because obviously this figure will change and the vortex figures will change. And then as Dragon X gets buy and burnt, then the vortex change. This number changes. Because there's a lot here in the vortex or in the Dragon X buy and burn as well. And then obviously as the market and the ecosystem recovers, I think those numbers will change and we'll see a pump. But I think Hydra is several months off from doing anything crazy, in my opinion. Granted, like I said, I'm nobody and I'm nothing. So, but that's just my view. And if you're in agreement, let me know. If you're not, let me know. Comment down below. Let's talk about it. Till next time. Thanks everybody. Peace.